Good morning, traders. This is Wilkey with StartupTrading.com. It is 8:48 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, June 3rd, 2020. 1 week till Fed. So, as we look back at yesterday's action, you can see the Russell was really inside of the previous day's range from value area low to the previous day's high for the most part. You had the Nasdaq fall right all the way through value, test the previous day's low to the tick almost, and then respond back up through value, and then they all had that push into the close, right? Notice no push on the Russell. So as we look at that, and you can see the Dow, right, the strongest of them all for yesterday, looking at value, didn't even get into the previous day's range, let alone value. The ES, flirting around where it opened most of the day until even the last 15 minutes of trading, come down there and straight up, and then we got our little 415 bar there. So looking at all the time frames in the charts, right? So the Nasdaq and the Russell were a little bit more neutral yesterday. The Dow and the ES were a little bit more bullish. For news today at 8:15, we had ADP. Not sure what it said, but it was there. Doesn't seem like it did a whole lot to the markets. At 10 o'clock, we're going to have ISM, and then we'll get into tomorrow where we have the ECB coming out, some employment claims, but the big thing for the week will be non-farm payroll on Friday. We'll skip going through all the little charts. So I want to just keep reminding you as we look at this every day, right? Where we are in the process of, we had that fall from February 20th down to the low on March 23rd, and then we've steadily retraced back up. Now we're into this point that I have marked off that I refer to as the void, right? There's really nothing in this whole area for me, almost up to 3,300. I'm sure we won't go all the way up there without some retracement, but I just want to show everyone that everyone's looking for a retracement. In the last few days, we've finally broken into this zone. So until we get back underneath the start of this zone, which would be basically 3,012 half, which we're, pushing 75, 80 points above right now, or 82 points above right now. So as we look at that, this marker that I put on here, this is just bell to bell trading hours I've got on here. This little marker right here is where we are trading right now, 93-ish. So if you look at, how we're breaking out up here, can we collapse and fall down? Of course we can, but until we get back under 30.12, right, the edge is substantially to the bulls. So you head up towards 3,300. And you can see the little void in here. What I'd like to see is, the response when we get up to right around 3150 is going to be the top of this till you get into a little bit more of a node. So if and when we get up into this area, we'll start looking at some more precise levels for it. So looking at the overnight action, 23 points. If you notice, here's our little bar going into yesterday's close. We open up, we fall minorly down, come back up, get another little bar, right? And it's just been a short squeeze pattern all night. It's been in some very tight ranges, right? So most of this trading action is between 30.85 and 30.93. So basically 8 points back and forth in here. And as we look at the volume overnight, we really have 300,000 contracts that went off, which is nothing to blink at. So they're all right here. So one thing that we're going to have to watch, and I'll share it with the room this morning, is where the overnight traders, the value is for the overnight traders. But, just eyeballing it, you can see that, most of the trades are in this zone. So basically, from 87 to 93 is where the majority of these traders are, because as you get closer to the bell, you get more volume. So as we look at that, the bulls now are going to have to continue pressing, which so far it hasn't been an issue for them since this could really be the start of some bigger moves up. And where could we go to? We can look at the level 3s and the level 4s, but 31.18, 31.38, neither of these are off the table as long as we don't get back into yesterday's range for today, tomorrow, even though we're still waiting on pending news. Looking at all the indexes, you can see the Russell outperforming the NASDAQ today again. So maybe this is going to be one of those Russell days up, right? So where it's outperforming. So we'll see. The NASDAQ still just flirting with yesterday's high. No one else even near it. Sequences overnight coming out of that low. Well, it was all the way down at 47.75. The ES halfway back long. Didn't go to target, right? Come back down, retested the halfway back long, dipped under it a little bit, didn't break the 61.8, and back up to target. So very strong in the overnight action. Choppy for the NQ, as I said before. And then the same thing for the Russell. Holds the 61.8, holds halfway back long, halfway back long, halfway back long, halfway back long. Just hit targets. So looking at, we beat up the ES, so let's move on to the NQ. So again, there's not going to be too much. This would be the trade I would stay away from it unless you're looking for something. If you think this is going to be a pop and a flop and you're looking for something this short, I think the NASDAQ will be the weaker market and you can do that with some risk reward. But I still think you're just better off avoiding this. I don't really see anything to do in here or any great levels of support or resistance that you could, turn to. If I had to put money on the line with a gun to my head, I would say 96.15 would be an area of interest to the long side, and breaking under that could, lead down to 95.57. Looking at the Russell, I'll zoom back out of here. So it's holding the 1407s, getting back above the 1433s now. So, the only thing that's left on the short term is getting over these highs from last Wednesday, Thursday. So probably some consolidation up in here in the morning, right? It could be, a straight up, but if you look at the lows, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and everything looks like that basically except for the NASDAQ. So for the Dow, getting finally back above, or for the first time above 25,750 in a while, right? This was a support or the resistance that we really hit our head on last Thursday session and led to that minor pullback, and now we're breaking up above it. I really don't have any resistance for this up into 26,300 almost, 26,297. And then 26,510. Not that we're going to hit that today, but this is where we should be churning in as long as we can stay above 25,750. If not, I would look for a retest probably right down to 25,642. So looking at all the indexes, putting a wrap on this, it is the bulls' day to lose, right? So they need to get back into the previous day's range for the bears to start taking back over any minor control. And look at the overnight lows. Barely into yesterday's range, barely into yesterday's range, barely into yesterday's range. And again, with the Russell, barely into yesterday's range. So I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. If you like this technical analysis, give the video a thumbs up. And I will talk to you tomorrow.